Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started today. It's 11:31 Eastern by my watch. So first off, thank you all for joining this call. We are so excited to have an opportunity to showcase some of our favorite updates from Revel's most recent 2.7.2 release. And I want to just introduce our speakers today. I'm your host. I'm going to help guide things along. My name is Sydney Kita, and I am the Senior Marketing Communications Manager here at Revel. And I am honored to speak alongside some of our esteemed folks on the product team. We've got Julie Flynn, who's a product owner, Lucas Bertini, who's Senior Director of Payments, Strategy, and Operations, and then Kathy Mulford, who is also a product owner here at Revel. So we're going to have them each talk about some of the areas of the most recent release where they were the lead or their teams did a lot of the work that we're excited to showcase today. And then at the very end of this, we will open it up for Q&A. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to type them in, but we will hold on answering any of them until the very end. So we've definitely saved some time for that and are looking forward to talking to you all. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide. And just a quick note that we are so excited to have, this is our final major release of the year. So hopefully you love what's in store. And with that, I will pass it over to Julie Flynn.
Excellent. Thank you. Just as I'm about to take a drink. So thanks very much, Sydney. So I'm Julie Flynn. I'm a product owner here at Revel, and I'm going to be covering the updates we made to Online Ordering XT, some of our loyalty integrations, and then some improved speed of service we made for phone-in delivery orders. So in 2.7.2, we continued to invest in our native online ordering platform, our Online Ordering XT. So we see online ordering as just a huge opportunity for you. And we know it can help drive revenue. It can help maintain a brand. And really, it's the first and sometimes only point of contact that your users have, or their only brand exposure experience. So we know it's important to enhance that interface and strengthen our loyalty integrations to just allow you to continue to drive sales through that channel. So next slide, please. So starting with reordering. So we've made it easier for your returning customers to place their favorite orders. So they can easily see their order history now, and they can reorder from a previous order. So they can add a previous order to the cart, and then they can still go in and edit that. And then if an item is no longer available, let's say it's a seasonal item, then it would just show as unavailable to add to the cart. So with this new reorder functionality, we're expecting the order speed to increase for your repeat customers, and we're really hoping to increase the number of return customers to online ordering with this. So I know I use this kind of feature all the time with some of my favorite restaurants. It's an easy way to easily or quickly place an order, and particularly with brands that have the build your own products, or things like pizza or sushi bowls or salads. So things that are highly customizable and might have a lot of different modifiers or options. So it's much easier to just add the same thing I added last time. So, all right, next slide, please. So we have improved control over our group combos. So now you can configure a group combo to sort the products either alphabetically or by sort order number, and change the quantity of child products and set special pricing for when a product is part of a group combo. So this is functionality that's always existed within group combos, but we just didn't have the UI to fully support this with Online Ordering XT. So now we do. So we're hoping to give more flexibility and menu management, and just offer more opportunities to create promotions or ways to offer promotions through group combos. So next slide, please. All right, so some user interface and some user experience improvements, so the UI UX improvements we've made. So we've made these based on just direct feedback that we've received from you. So we've worked to improve speed and descriptions and store information. And we've added the closing soon and closed to the list of stores. So now you'll be able to look at that list of locations and see which ones are closing soon or which ones are closed, to just kind of help keep the users informed before going any further. So we've improved the promo code visibility, and then we've also added the store name and address to the header to make it more clear what store is selected. So really helpful with brands that have multiple locations on Online Ordering XT. And then finally, we've added a new section that has all the store details. So a map of where to find it, any store operating hours, contact information, that kind of thing. So next slide. Perfect. So a while back, we had announced a partnership with Como. So Como is a loyalty and customer engagement provider. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from our customers using Como, telling us how our Como integration could be improved. So we've made some major enhancements and added new functionalities that will allow you to provide item level discounts. So we've also improved the overall registration and login flow for users in online ordering. So we've updated some of the wording or the copy and added multiple paths for users to register with loyalty. So if they had previously opted out when they signed up for online ordering XT, now they'd still be able to go back and create that loyalty account. So next slide, please. All right, so then we've made some enhancements to the customer display or some loyalty enhancements to the customer display for those of you using Paytronics and Como. So now customers can look up their loyalty account from the customer display, and they don't have to wait for input from the cashier. So the actions that they make from the customer display will be mirrored, as you can see in this video. So you can see that it's mirroring the actions that the customer is making so that the cashier has visibility into it, and they can even take over and help if they need to. So we think this will make it a lot easier for customers to see their loyalty points or add their loyalty account, and just kind of improve the overall experience. So again, that's with Paytronics or Como on the customer display. So, all right, next slide, please. And the last update I want to highlight is just the deliverable address selector. So this is for delivery order types. So we understand that time is quite precious when taking a phone order. And so the fewer actions that we need to get the customer's details, the better. So for a customer that's ordered before, we might have multiple addresses for them in our customer, our CRM. So they might have a home and a work address. And now when we look at that customer info screen on the POS, we'll be able to easily make a change to that delivery address. So let's say a customer calls in, they normally get their pizza delivered to their work address. This time they want it delivered to home. Now it'll be much easier to just make that selection and continue on with the order. So always just looking for ways to improve that speed of service and reduce friction at the point of sale. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Lucas.
Thank you very much, Julie. Next is a brand new exciting product which was developed this year, Revel Smartpay. So let me give you the quick rundown of the what, why, where, and when. So let's start off with what is Revel Smartpay. So Revel Smartpay is a convenient and contactless payment method that allows merchants to support new digital payment channels. In this new COVID era, we have seen many restaurants move their business to a digital environment and have alternative ordering channels. What we're also seeing is a move to offer alternative payment channels. Think of this as digitalizing the in-store experience as opposed to the online experience. Now you may ask, why digitalize the in-store experience? Well, consumer behavior is evolving and adopting new methods to both order and pay. But it's not just to respond to consumer industry demands, it's also to help improve a merchant's bottom line by increasing the speed of service and reducing costs at the same time. And we'll talk more in a bit just how you can modernize for not only your consumer, but also for your business. Where can you use this product? Revel Smartpay is available for North America supported payment integrations in both the US and Canada. And the best part, it's part of our core offering. That's right, you heard me. If you're a current Revel customer, you get to use this product at no additional cost, a true testament to our mission to continue to add value and drive revenue for our merchants. Lastly, when? Revel Smartpay will be available on Monday, November 8th for our Revel Advantage and Freedom Pay merchants. All you have to do is log into your management console and you can enable and disable the feature as you please. So let me introduce you to these new alternative payment channels. The first payment channel is scan a QR code to pay. Instead of bringing a device to a table or taking a consumer's credit card away from the table to a terminal, you can now bring a receipt with a printed QR code. The consumer scans the QR code using their smartphone camera, which will open out the checkout page in a web browser, and you can see that from the screenshot above. This new payment experience has grown since the pandemic and is a frictionless and contactless way to help you guys check out quicker. You can also use this payment channel as a pay-at-table solution without the need of a mobile payment device, thus reducing your hardware footprint and costs. We do still recommend you have a payment device on premise. There are consumers out there who don't have a smartphone, but overall, this is a great improvement for table service restaurants by reducing the amount of time the server has to go back and forth to the table. Not to mention, consumers can now check out as soon as they receive their tab, so you can turn over your tables much quicker. The other payment channel is text to pay. And next slide, please. Thank you. Today, when a merchant takes over the phone orders, they have to manually type in a credit card, which has a few challenges to it. For example, the consumer has to now get their credit card out of their wallet and read it over the phone. There could be language barriers, telephone service issues, which all create friction in the payment experience. In addition, it's not really a very secure method because you are actually communicating your unmasked credit card number verbally over the phone. With text to pay, you can actually reduce friction by sending a quick link and letting the consumer pay online. This provides a more consumer-friendly experience, increases speed and accuracy, and best part, reduces costs. Not so much from a labor perspective, but due to the reduced time it takes, it's actually more secure from your credit card interchange fees. So let me explain that one more time. The reason your fees go down is because an online transaction is considered more secure, also known as less risky type of transaction, compared to manually entering credit card numbers. So when the transaction is less risky, the interchange fees go down. So for high volume over the phone businesses, this could be a significant reduction in costs. The other use case, which is slightly less common, is using an order taker, say as a line buster or in a large event space, and sending a text for payment as opposed to using a mobile payment device, or running to the printer and printing out that receipt with the QR code. We see this as a less common use case than over the phone scenario, but regardless, it is an available option. Quick disclaimer, in order to send text messages, you will need a Twilio account. However, Revel Smartpay, like I mentioned, is at no additional cost. Revel Smartpay is actually less than a year old, and we're adding additional value to this product at almost every single release. And we're going to continue to expand this product into new markets and additional payment channels in the coming releases. So make sure you stay tuned and check out the updates. Thank you all for listening. I'm now going to pass the baton off to Kathy, who will talk about some exciting drive-through and kitchen display products.
Hi, I'm Kathy Mulford. I am the product owner for the in-store and kitchen experience. Next slide. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is drive-through ordering. Drive-through ordering has become more and more important in this post-COVID time. Some businesses have seen their drive-through footprint move from anywhere from 50% up to 90% of their business. And Revel wanted to make it easier for management of drive-through orders. We always offered drive-through ordering, and in fact, we have an integration with Delphi for drive-through CDS, but managing the orders was not simple. So we have developed a dedicated drive-through queue that all drive-through orders go into, and this will make it easier for the cashier to find the orders that they need to handle. It's meant to accommodate all sorts of drive-through footprints, whether or not you have a single terminal or a multi-terminal, or even a line buster out in the parking lot. The queue, which will be coming up in the video shortly, lists all of your drive-through orders. And right from the queue itself, you can do the major actions you need. Probably that's payment. You can click the pay button and you will be able to take payment, simple payment for the order right there without ever leaving the queue. Moving in and out of the queue is simple. Just tap the order screen if you're also taking the orders, and then return to the queue to manage the orders themselves. The queue can even act as an expediter. It's easy to see what items are on the screen. And so even after you've already taken payment, you can leave the order in the queue until you mark it fulfilled and hand it over to the customer. Next slide. Next feature I want to talk about that we've introduced is a little bit different. That moves to the KDS, and we're now offering prioritization for items and orders on the KDS. This is where you have an item or an order that needs to be made before anything else. Something got dropped, you have a difficult customer that you need to get out of the building, whatever. You want to tell the kitchen, make this item in advance of every other thing on the screen. So it's really easy to go to items and orders on the POS, mark them as prioritized. That shows up in the kitchen. You can see that they're easy to find. They are bumped to the very top of the queues ahead of any other order types, any other prioritization. So the kitchen can see it, can produce it, can hand it over, and deal with your in-store situation. Next slide. Linked combo configuration and updates. So in 271, we redid group combos, the configuration on the management console, and also adding some customization enhancements. We have extended this to linked combos in 272. So it has this lovely new UI that's really easy, dare I say, fun to use for configuring your combos. And in this new UI are exposed two new features. You are able to customize the product upcharge amount and the default product status of products by linked combo per base product. So if your linked combo is, say, your Happy Meal, you can have different upcharges and default products for that Happy Meal when it is attached to an adult burger versus a child's burger, say. So the default product for an adult burger could be Coca-Cola. For the child burger, it could be a shake. At the same time, we have also improved the group combo management experience from the enterprise level. So if you struggled with that before, you'll find it's a lot easier to manage. Back to the link combos though, I do want to mention link combos are now fully supported in our API. So if you are using a third-party integration, your third party will be able to take advantage of all this linked combo functionality, and will be able to pull the link combo products and be able to push in orders containing link combos to Revel. And Sydney, I'm going to pass this back to you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. So at this time, we're going to shift over to Q&A. We've got some great questions filing in, and then we've also got a few questions that were submitted in advance when folks registered. So we're going to try and address as many of them as we can. For any that we don't get to, we'll do our best to follow up in the email communications, which will include a recording of this webinar. And you're welcome to revisit the content. I know it's my favorite thing to wake up to in the mornings is, just go back and revisit some Revel webinar content, but it'll also be available for you to share with your team members as needed. So to get started, we're going to kick it back to Lucas with a question about Revel Smartpay, which is, does it work with all payment processors that are already integrated with Revel or only some of them?
Good question. All of the payment processors, or I should say gateways that are available in North America, both US and Canada, are integrated, not outside of those two regions. So to be specific, it's Freedom Pay, which is available in both US and Canada, and TriPos, powered by Revel Advantage, which is available in the US. It doesn't matter what processor you're using, as long as you're using one of those gateways.
And there's a follow-up to that, which is that we mentioned that Smartpay is free. Is that only temporarily? And will we start charging for this feature in the future?
So we did come out in March with this product, and the plan was to have it charged, but we decided that the value of it is just part of our core offering. So as long as you have Revel systems, you're not going to be charged for it. It's just part of the core offering.
And for Awadala, it looks like AJ stepped in and addressed your question about Twilio. So Twilio is an integrated partner for SMS texting. So you can read more through the link that he shared. And then I had a question for Kathy, which is, does the upgrade for 272 allow combos to be printed from the KDS screen? We use the Epson L90 restick label printer.
It is possible to print combos from the KDS screen with a sticker. I am not sure what it looks like. We'd have to go back and answer that one more fully.
All right. And I got another one for you, which is for QSRs, orders are closed immediately after paid. To prioritize for the KDS, would we still be able to prioritize a closed check?
Yes. As long as the order has not actually been already cooked in the kitchen, you can go into the closed order and tap the items and mark prioritization on them or on the entire order. If the order has been cooked, we will post a warning, or an alert on the POS saying, hey, it's already been cooked. You will have to resubmit the item in order to prioritize it. And we did that because we didn't want to lead to food wastage in the kitchen and remaking items that you didn't already want to, or that you had already made.
I think this next one is for Julie Flynn, which is when customers call to place orders for delivery, are team members entering the address or is it migrated over from online orders previously placed?
Good question. So if that customer already exists in our customer database in the CRM, then we would be able to see their address. So any orders that are placed through the online ordering would create a customer in the CRM. And so therefore we would have their address for when they phone in an order. So
next question is a question about, this one will be for Kathy, someone who would like to hear more about the difference between the regular order queue and the drive-through order queue.
Sure. What you're seeing with the drive-through order queue is actually the anticipated future for managing all types of orders for Revel. We will, over coming months and releases, migrate more and more orders into this new queue format so that the visualization will be the same. However, for drive-through, to me, what's special about this is that drive-through orders, you open a drive-through order, you take the order, and then you put it aside for a couple of orders, and then you have to go back to it. And with our traditional queues, that's really awkward because you would have to go and search out the order that you had moved off of, find it again in order to take payment. With the queue, what you've got is you're really managing probably just half a dozen orders. And so they are all visible right there, easy to find. At the top of the queue is the oldest one. That's going to be the one that either you're expediting or you're about to take payment for, because the other orders, the people who've drived up, they're no longer in the queue. They don't matter, or they don't need to take your attention. So you'll be able to find the order immediately that you want to get back to. And as I was pointing out, you'll be able to take payment right there. You won't have to go into the order, especially in order to pay for it. You just tap the order on the queue and then take cash, credit, or gift payment.
And then this one would also be for you, Kathy. So this is a question about nested modifiers when created in OLO. And the question is whether those can be printed to the KDS. It says when testing them in the past, nested modifiers were not visible to back of house.
Because this involves how this comes in from third parties, I don't have an answer. I'd have to look this up. I don't know why this wouldn't print. So there's got to be something special about the way it's coming in.
Yeah, we can follow up on that one. Another one for Lucas. It's for Revel Smartpay. How does it work when the customer wants to keep a tab open? Does the customer have to scan the QR code each time to get an updated amount for their order?
So if the customer is keeping the tab open, you would provide them a receipt at the end of their experience. And so you don't have to necessarily scan it each time. If you are providing a receipt each time they're ordering something new, it would get updated every time you add something new. So that QR code is basically tied to an order. So you can use the same QR code. However, if you're keeping a tab open, you wouldn't be getting a receipt every single time. You would only be getting a receipt at the end of your experience.
And then let's see. This is a question that we got that I will actually address, which is, do we offer to come out to retail stores for training? And the answer is yes. We'll include a link with more information, but that's available through a paid service with Revel Professional Services. And we've got some additional options for enterprise level clients as well, if you are looking to extend training to multiple sites. So we've got a couple options for you there. Let's see. Back for Lucas, there's a question about someone who would like faster credit card processing because their lines move slowly, and they'd like to know what's the best technology for fast processing.
So it obviously depends which gateway you're on. However, we did release our Tetra devices, which have under 2.8 seconds in transaction speed. So I would recommend you get on Revel Advantage and get one of those new devices.
Great. Alrighty, let's see. And then AJ's got a question about integrated partners, which I'll take this one as well, which is whether or not we are open to integrating with other partners like Punch. Punch is still a Revel integrated partner. We just prioritized some big projects with Como and Paytronics. So that's why we covered those and had extended functionality. But yes, AJ, we still integrate with Punch, and through our open API, we've got a lot of options available to you there. All right. And it looks like the incoming questions are slowing down a little bit. So I may give folks a couple of minutes back in their day, but just want to say again, thank you to everybody who has joined the call today. I know your time is valuable, and we just really appreciate your time on the webinar, but also for all of you who are Revel clients, you make all of this possible for us at the end of the day. So thank you sincerely for joining and for your curiosity about 272, and we hope you are excited for our future releases to come. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.